Once I started telling people about narcolepsy, I found it was extremely hard for people to really understand it. I think most people just struggled with how to react. I got a lot of puzzled faces, and then people would just quickly move the conversation along. I really wish that people would just stop to ask me more about it, because I know that you have no idea what narcolepsy is, and I'd love to tell you more about it because it's such a big part of my life. When I told my family and friends, they were really supportive, but I knew they didn't really get it. I felt like a lot of them still expected me to be able to do all the things I could do before I got narcolepsy. So I decided to write a blog post about everything that I have to go through in a day with narcolepsy. And when people read it, I got an outpour of supportive messages, even from people I hadn't heard from in years, which was extremely validating. I learned to be really patient with people when it comes to understanding narcolepsy. After all, it is hard to understand an invisible illness. And to be honest, it even took me a long time to understand just how much narcolepsy would affect my life. After leaving medical school, I decided to apply to graduate schools for data science. That's where I am now. I'm studying applied statistics and data analytics at SMU. I'm on my second year of school now, but thinking back to my first year, when I started, I was so cocky. My thought process was, if I made it through medical school with untreated narcolepsy, graduate school should be cake, right? I had all these plans to get a job and take extra classes, even sit in on classes that I just found interesting. But I was so wrong about the whole thing. See, my narcolepsy symptoms continued to get worse. And I think they hit an all-time low during the first semester of school. I had to take an incomplete in one of my classes because I missed too many days when I was just too sleepy to make it to class. I had to ask for multiple extensions and homeworks and even reschedule some exams because I was just too sleepy to take them. I mean, imagine staying up for 2 nights and trying to take an exam in mathematical statistics. I just had no control over my sleep schedule anymore. One time, I slept almost 40 hours straight, only waking up to feed my cats because they knew to wake me up just by nudging my face. I had to drop to part-time status the next semester. And I just felt awful about it because I felt like this disease was just limiting so much. But one thing that helped me get through this hard time is that my professors were extremely understanding of my situation. At the beginning of the semester, I sat down with them and told them about the narcolepsy and how it affected my life. I also asked for disability accommodations. And I think that they understood that I could do the work. I just wasn't always awake enough to do it all in time. And I'm happy to say that since then, things have gotten a lot better. I'm actually on a new medication that's helping me feel a lot more awake. And I think that next semester, I might actually be able to handle a full course load again, which makes me really happy because, one, by now I'm kind of a nerd and I love learning. And two, I just had to overcome so many obstacles to get my health to this point. Having narcolepsy has made me grow up in a lot of ways. I was very unhealthy in medical school, and ironically, I had to leave it to really learn how to take care of my health. I had to sacrifice my mental and physical health to make it through. It was really survival of the fittest. But now I consciously spend a lot of time doing things for my health, like exercise, eating better, and things like meditation. Because the healthier I am, the more awake I actually feel. Looking towards the future, I wanted to become a doctor to help people. I actually decided to become a data scientist for the same reason. See, as a data scientist, I can have a different role in the healthcare industry by analyzing all the data that doctors collect about their patients and using that to make recommendations on how to improve patients' health outcomes. And I'm so excited about this because the projects I work on could potentially impact thousands of patients. It's estimated that a lot of people with narcolepsy are currently undiagnosed or misdiagnosed with a different disease. And because of low awareness, even among physicians, and misperceptions, it takes about 8 to 15 years to get a diagnosis after symptom onset. So this is the end of my story, and I hope that by sharing my story, I can help change some of the misconceptions about narcolepsy, and also show that narcolepsy can appear in unexpected ways, even in ways that a medical student wouldn't suspect. I'm sharing my story as part of the Rising Voices of Narcolepsy program, which is a part of Project Sleep, which is a nonprofit dedicated to empowering patients with narcolepsy to share their stories to help raise awareness about this disease.